Hey! That's good, chat. It's been a hot minute. Somewhat unintentional, but did end up taking a bit of a break. But we're good now. Tomorrow's interesting. Right, tomorrow's Game Awards, which means also a lot of announcement. And a bunch of awards that don't really mean much, but are still neat, I guess. Those that are unaware with Game Awards, always worth checking the FAQ on Game Awards every year because it usually changes. Prior years it was an 80-20 split, 80% like Game Awards judges, 20% fan vote. This year it is 90-10, which basically means the votes don't mean anything. So there's no point to it. Doesn't stop me from still casting my votes for the sake of doing it, but you know, I still have games that I want to win at certain awards, or at least that I hope win certain awards because either I like them, they're cool, or I think they deserve it. Right? Like, I don't know if Elden Ring deserves Game of the Year, but I would definitely love it if it did. Or if it got it, rather. But anyways, enough about that. I have to remember what's going on, for one, and for two, I know we're doing some grinding here. We're set up to do some Veldt grinding. I'm gonna do slight switch of plans initially, and then come back to it right now. I'm just gonna go right to it. Essentially, I just want to go pick up the other location on the map, which is over here. There's another little town here. I just want to grab that and then kind of go from there. Right. Amasa. There's really not much to do here. We can pick up a few items, but for the most part, we're kind of not doing it. I don't know how useful any of these items are either right now, but I mean, figure might as well grab it while we can. And then a note about the Veldt grind we're about to embark on. The Veldt is a bit interesting in that you don't get any experience. I kind of already talked about it a little bit, but just as a reminder for those that maybe don't know. In the Veldt, you don't gain any experience, but you do still gain money and AP. That's everything we can get right now? Yeah, that's everything we can get right now. There's probably like some items that we could like buy, but also probably not worth it. Mostly the only way to get Gao's Rages, which is obviously a big deal. I'll check the shops real quick, but I think about the same. Never seen you before. Bunch of nothing. So just that. There's a couple of extra entries here as well in the overworld. I figure let's grab those real quick too before we go into the big grind. I've got Mog in the party. Just attack. That's also just attack. I don't like remember everything that I have right now. Okay. Most of the enemies are going to be pretty easy to pick up. There's one more. Fortunately, we don't have lock, so we can't steal a Gaia gear, but that's okay. Not super important. Nice to have, but it's not that big of a deal. Preemptive strike! Hi, Mog. Dodie. Essentially, our goal here is we're going to try to teach some Espers to basically everyone, while also being in the process of learning Gao Rages, because that's always useful. Locke and Terra get preferential treatment. Nice. Purely because they're characters that we have a little bit more often than others. Admittedly, Terra does rotate in and out every now and again, but the rest are Locke and Terra are the most prevalent in the party. So it's important to give them kind of just like the general stuff that's worth picking up. Alright. Stuff like decent magic for like the main elements of like Thunder, Blizzard. Dang, where is the Chimera? Well, they'll just not even bother. We'll get the encounter later. Most likely. Oh, that thing's dead. Oh my god. Yeah, let's just... I'll just head over there now. I don't want to risk getting too many level ups while I'm out here. That's the big thing, is leveling up isn't the best thing to do, which is why we want to go into the Veldt grind. Oh, you have to like go in it and then hit the button. There we go. I'm gonna swap Mog out real quick for Gao, so we can get some Gao levels going, or some Gao training going. Gao should be right there. There's party members? Yes. We'll bring Terra. We'll bring Locke. Because these two need to make sure they get their training. Gao, and then Setzer is the newest party member, so he will get training. Also, because I like Setzer, he's cool. Take the wheel! Land the airship immediately, frame 1. And now we just kind of walk in circles. Actually, let me make sure. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I should do Espers real quick. Make sure that people are getting Espers that I want them to be getting. Those are all fine, actually. You are currently learning a bunch of stuff. These. That's fine. You don't have an Esper, actually. Well, I'll just give you a Ramu, because it's an easy one. And then you currently have Kate Sith. That's fine for now. There we go. Now we'll learn some rages. Gotta be careful not to slap him. But... Dive bomb! Other than that, though, we're good to go. We're just gonna do this for a little while. Not attack him, please. Thank you. Oh, never mind. Oops. Sorry, Gao. I don't think encounter right now. Dobermans. Mysidian Rabbit. I don't complain. I'll take him off the slots for a little bit. Don't want to attack. Hi, Gal. Welcome back. Welcome back, Gal. Don't know if I learned anything new, but he's back. There's like a lot you can do. I'm basically just focused on picking up. Gao's set to lead. I don't know what Gao's like default is. Probably was not lead. I'm gonna make sure he does. I guess could have. Okay. Fortunately. Probably a good way to go about this instead of this. But it's not like this is like on an emulator or something where I can just like go into like hyper speed mode and just call it a day. Three high potions. Nice crit. Come back now. You definitely learned a couple of new tricks, that much I know. Gravity? Interesting, the guy did not lead by default there. If you need to rest too, we're right next to the town here. Oh gee. Hey, free my full vest. Ow. Thank you, my city and rabbit. And lock dive. Probably should have delayed the action. I'm thinking about it. That right there is why. Dang. Oh, poison wore off as I casted it. Nice. What am I sitting rabbit? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, nice! Terra learned region. That's good. So we're checking what she has equipped, which is Sheriff. Not fully learned, but we're getting there. I don't know how long I'm gonna grind out here. It's still not worth like doing it for a little bit. And Cow is back. I wonder if we don't get any points if Gao is just... Like it doesn't show the ends. We had 40% on the last one there? Yeah, okay. So, really enough, we actually kind of just don't want Gao to come back for a little bit. If we're gonna send him away, we want him to like stay out. So that we can actually get like progress. So we just like are basically, you know, elongating this process way longer than it needs to be. Dang. Hog. Man's used the high potion. Please do not steal 9,000 of my money. Thank you. Another high potion. Sorry, Gal, I'm about to slap you. Go away. All the times the frog. I don't get anything? Oh no. Alright. So purely doing Gao Rages is purely to do Gao Rages and nothing else. Basically what this comes down to. Hey, free shuriken. That's what I'm learning here. Because if we send Gao out, Gao is going to learn, and that's all he's going to do. Welcome back, Gao. We're going to be here for a while, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I want to max every single Esper right now. Oh, gee. That's mildly concerning, actually. Hey, all diamonds. Do you know Chaser? Because if not, actually, I'm gonna send you out there on that one. Alright, yeah, no, you can take that one. Oh, now Gao knows Chaser. As I mentioned before, I have no idea what's like good and what's bad. Oh, gee, also driving. Obsidian Rabbit again. Nice. Nice. Oh, welcome back, Go. Oh my god. I don't know why I'm like... My throat's like a little like messed up right now. Alright. I don't know how much longer I want to try and Gao out, though, but I do want to make sure everyone at least, like, learns, like, 1 or 2 more Espers. That's kind of like the thing here, right? Is I want to make sure everyone learns some Espers. Dang! That was just a normal cure. Jeez, I don't know why my throat's like all jacked up right now. We'll spend a little bit more time doing this than I thought. Man, Gao's back. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on. Alright. Grind time. I mean, ultimately, I'd say things are going quite well here. Wait, we're getting some stuff. We're getting some free items. Ow. We're getting money. We're not getting a lot of progress, but... that's okay. Gee. One moment. Oh, hi, Gal. Oh, oops, sorry, Gal. Didn't mean to do that. I was tabbed out. That's not my fault. I guess I just muted myself so I could pop up one of my lungs real quick. Destroy. That was a crit? Hold up. I'd say couldn't steal or nothing to steal. I guess I won't find out. welcome back out. Like, I almost don't want to send Gao out. But I think it's worth it picking up a couple more rages. I mean, just like learning a bunch of them is never a bad thing. Other than that, teaching spells to the party is also helpful. It's a little weird, honestly. Like thinking about it, like it's a little weird having like every character technically be a mage. That's like the first point we've gotten on an Esper in a hot minute. Since Gao keeps coming by. Updating money. Hopefully Gil's like good. It's gonna go by quickly though. I have a lot of potions to work with, which is a good thing. It's nice to have a lot of potions. Okay. Okay. Can we not with this right now? One, you need to unimp yourself. You need to do that. You can Thundara. Thank you. Hey, Terra learned Curious, that's going to float. I think that's it for Setzer. I think, yeah. And, what is using float? I mean, getting just like the basic stuff isn't bad, right? Ifrit and Maduin. Like, that's kind of just like getting these two on basically everyone is just like was useful. Right? Or, not, sorry. Getting Maduin, and I think Kieran's also really good to have on everyone, because it's just healing magic. Like basic healing magic. These ones are also helpful too. I guess you could take Phantom next. What kind of eye drops? There we go. Okay, I got enough. HP is also looking a little rough. I have so many potions. This is why Locke is disgusting. Because you just steal so many things if you just keep him on stealing. I know that he has Mug too, like he just gets so much value. It's actually kind of insane. Right, because he gets so much value. He gets so many items, and he gets to attack still with Mug, which is just like, that's crazy. You get to steal constantly. Right, which, worst case scenario, you can just, like, sell all those potions off. It's free money. Gao is back. Fun as it would be to mug Gao, I'm not going to. Okay. Oh, am I not? Oops. Unfortunately, we're learning our Espers really slowly. Gao's not getting any Esper progress. But honestly, Espers are not that helpful in Gao. I don't really know that I hit all the metal without having an idea what Gao is up to. I think he just defaults to defense. I don't think he actually does anything else. I hope we get like more breaks between him leaving and coming back, but apparently he wants to be very active. He just like keeps popping up. A little annoying. I don't get to make like a lot of progress instead of learning rages, which I think at this point we're probably good to stop learning rages unless I see something that I really want to pick up. He should be okay. I mean, there's like 80 of them to learn or something. Like, there's so many right now. But I'm like, I don't know if I care. You know? Like, he's got a lot in here, too. I'll do Chaser. Oh, just back. But we're not actually going to go into a trance. It's not gonna matter. Oh, an anti-poison. Antidote. Gao is currently floating, apparently. I have no idea when that's happening, but... And we just keep learning. Dobermans. Yeah, I was now a chaser. I don't know how much I'm going to use Gao anyways. Like, obviously, there's a few sections where, like, I'm probably going to have to be using Gao, but... I don't know how, I don't know if I really care to use Gao that much. So let me hop into the airship real quick. If I remember right, we should be able to use the airship as a healing spot, actually, and I won't even need to go into the village or whatever. Isn't it like down here? Can I go through the door and then there's like a bedroom? Down here maybe? Nope. Okay. Thought there might be. Forgot there is not. It has been like over a week. Move it, Mog. And there's nothing here. Dang, kinda sucks. I mean, there's the shop, but stuff isn't important. Disembark. We'll just have to use the town whenever we need to do a quick stock up. A backpack. This is kind of gonna be a thing that we do from time to time, is like keep coming back just to like learn Espers. I kind of want to just like leave the better, like the intended stat increase Espers on people and leave it at that. If that makes sense. Like, I don't want to sit here and or like whatever, you know, like I just want to be able to like not care. Oh my god. What the hell's going on? But yeah. Like, I don't want to have to, like, constantly be swapping them around and, like, having bad options. Essentially. Ow. I would rather just, like, leave on the better stat increase ones. Or, like, the intended stat increases, so that the characters get exactly what they should be getting. Which, I have no idea what I'm gonna do stat-wise yet. But he doesn't increase, like, speed? That one's probably going to lock forever. Maybe Setzer too. I don't know if I want Setzer to like really be like much of a mage. Terra always gets either mana or magic up. Sabin honestly could take anything. Like, unironically, Sabin's useful with like all of them. I'm just gonna go ahead and come into town. That's kind of the case with like a lot of them. It's kind of easy for like every character to have any of them, and it's like totally fine. Like, bonus HP is always useful, but more useful on characters that intend to be like tanky. Right, like probably Edward, Laban, characters like that. Lockmire Estimate. I think that's the last one. Nope. Unicorn still has. Oh, geez, Unicorn's got some slow ones. How you doing on Seraph? Is it slow? Okay, you're almost. Ramu is teaching you Basic Thunder. It's actually coming close to done. Oh. This one's gonna be a long one. Actually, yeah, what are of the Espers? We have stamina, nothing, HP, nothing, strength, magic, magic again, HP, strength plus 2, nothing, mana plus 2, and nothing. Okay. I mean, there are like a crazy amount of Espers. The strength plus 2 is, or strength plus 2 is a big one. I don't know who currently has it equipped, but that's like a really big one. This early on. I don't know who has that, but whoever does is probably worth having it on. Honestly, probably whatever his name is. Frenchman. French samurai man. He's probably the boy or the one that deserves that one the most. And then Sabin should probably be taking one of the strength upgrades as well. But really, whichever one's currently in the party should have strength plus 2. Always. Essentially, for those that don't know much about this game, this is basically how you train your Esper. Or this is like the way you should train your Espers. Because then you don't get bad stat increases, or like less valuable stat increases. Right? You're like guaranteed to always make sure that the stat increases you get are useful. But if you want different spells, you just head over here for a little bit, and you're good to go. I mean, I could steal Light or Magna Rotor as one of the rages, but I don't know how useful it is. But yeah. That's really all there is to it, and you just kind of come here. You get not a lot of money, you get a little bit of money. The big thing is just that you get Esper progress. Got one Basic Thunder. Wait, and having the ability for people to use magic is always helpful. Gao, less so. Gao's one that I don't even know what I'm going to do stat-wise. Because, like, you really could get away with anything on him. And it would be honestly fine. It just depends on what rage you want him to use. Admittedly, strength is probably the best call, though. But yeah, we're just Esper grinding and everything right now. Nice crit for almost 600 damage, that was not needed. Gerude Sandstorm. Oh, Gao died. Don't with that. First things first, Phoenix down. Okay, actual first things first. Holy water. Apparently that's more important. I need to, like, get more Phoenix sounds. AoE Cura. I'll do a second one just in case, because I know Lox is a lot weaker. That was like a lot. Oh, actually, we already have many of them. A lot of good ones in here. We'll keep going with Chaser. Chaser just seems to be doing pretty good. The big plasma attack is hitting pretty hard, so I'm not gonna do too much. Terra learned Esuna. I think that means Terra's done. Yeah, Terra's done on Seraph. Mudween's done. Great. But I want her to learn like basic Thunder, basic Blizzard. Because I could. Also give her some of like the stranger ones. I think giving her the basics. Fine. This works really on Sabin, but Sabin's not currently learning magic, so priority goes to you. Yeah. I don't remember if I can buy Phoenix Stones in this game. Yeah, let's go find out. Phoenix sounds like a... Oh. These sounds are weird throughout the history of, like, early Final Fantasies. It's like, some of them are like, yeah, you can just buy them in any store. Others are like, no, you have to, like, find them. I get, like, a bunch. You got a lot of money, so... Using a couple here and there is not really that big of a deal, it's just annoying. While we're out here on the grind. I guess I got a potion for free. Nice. But yeah. This is like just like a thing that this game kinda comes back to a lot. Just because of how useful it is to be here. You also get to do a lot of like good stealing. Technically, if you're lucky enough, you can steal a lot of stuff. Like a lot of like repeat items that are like normally not necessarily hard to get, but because it's, you know, like non-unique boss enemies that spawns here, so you can technically grind them out elsewhere. But in some instances, that might not necessarily be as easy as it sounds. Okay, bye, Gao. He already needs to be healed again. Maybe Gao needs the HP boost. I don't know. I'm trying to say buff and boost at the same time, and it just came out as boofed. Okay, bye. Now it's just Terra. Thankfully, nobody gets any XP anyway, so you know. We have 41 high potion. Jeez. I don't know if I'll ever use all of that, but hey, for the merrier. That's what I'm thinking about it. So current plans, right, are We can play through this game. When I finish with my 6, hey, Carolyn, Blizzard, and Thunder. Uh-oh. Okay, Bismarck is done already. Hey. It says what? Yeah, it's like super fast to learn those. Oh, hey, she knows raise. Nice. But she knows like all the big ones. Right, optimizing the speed on spells is not necessary, but is helpful. Who has Carbuncle currently? Edgar? Edgar is not in the party. Yeah, right, because like there is overlap between Espers, but sometimes the Espers are like some of them are faster than others to learn certain spells with, so being a little bit more optimal with it is nice. Okay. So, not mandatory. Oh yeah, I have absolutely no control over Cal. Dang. I know Thunder bad. What about Blizzard? Blizzard good. Well. To an extent. Within this game, Blizzard good. In the real world, Blizzard not good. Pick whatever you want. I guess we'll make him defensive this then. Destroyer's fine, I guess. There. Hey, free eye drops. I have no idea what he just did. 0 magic AP. Wow, not even worth my time. This is also probably not going to be worth my time. I mean, I guess it's free money, nothing else. And free eye drops. Oh, never mind, we got 1 AP. Let's go. Gal learned Poison. Still not done with Ramu. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, double Magna Rotors. Let's go. That was great. Nice crit. That's our learned Gravity. Still working on Phantom. The first time Setser's learned something, huh? Trio Soldier and Templar. Means easy high potions for the most part. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I guess the Templars have normal potion. Kind of weird. Also, no magic AP. Again. I don't know what happened. I just got hit with like a massive wave of I'm tired. Hey, pretend. Okay, they need to change what Gao does. Sure, I thought being a destroyer would be useful, but apparently not. Apparently it's basically just a glorified casting of a free spell every turn. One that I honestly don't know entirely what it does. Why is this so hard? Buzzer's going on slot machine duty now. Remaster's like a weird one to like that. Because you can kind of do them in two ways. Right? So you can either play sets that are basically just like an attack character, where you just like swing a bunch, or you can play him to gamble, and because all of the damage that his lets you is magic, so you just buff his like magic. I guess what is his stats? Like pretty equal, right? Yeah. His strength has a slight boost, but that's probably items he's wearing. Oh yeah, I meant to swap Gao, because Gao is doing literally nothing right now. Other than just absolutely massive time loss. Interesting. Leaf bunnies are absorb ice. Didn't know that. What do I know? That was a big hit too. I have no AP. Why am I even here then, huh? I'm not gonna get any of the magic. Some bear rats. What else is like good? Also dragon. Pretty decent. Oh. Just because it does AoE damage. It's got AoE and it can technically inflict zombie status. I don't know how useful that is, but it's a good one for Gao, I guess. Still have other characters too. I mean, like, I'm okay with like Terra just like blazing through them. But still, it is worth mentioning that there's like 5 other characters we gotta worry about, and then later on too, we have to wait. You know, once we get Celis back, we gotta deal with that too. I don't remember what happened to Celis actually. I'm gonna be honest. They're like an entire week away. An extra day. Really kind of messed with my memory of what's going on here. I have no recollection. I'm gonna swap out soon though. Nice. I basically did just like an hour with these 4, an hour with the others. I mean, like, as I said, like, we're gonna be coming back to this several times, so I'm not like hard pressed to get it. But also, as I mentioned, right, I want to make sure that as I'm like pushing through like actual story, I want to make sure that Espers that are useful and provide beneficial stat increases are equipped over ones that provide new spell. So you don't have to do it this way, but this is like technically better. It's a little bit more optimal stat-wise. But I also understand that it's kind of boring and repetitive. I mean, you know, let's be real here. What is a Final Fantasy game but slightly boring and repetitive? The antidotes. Yeah. Baby mode heal. That killed Gao because apparently Gao is okay. Does explain a little bit, though. Maybe Zombie Dragon isn't the best call, then. Because then I can't actually, like, actively heal Gao. I don't know. Ugh. I'll just go with Magic Armor. It's always a useful one. I'm never gonna complain about Magic Armor. Alright. Going. How are we doing? How's everyone? How's the whole party doing on their current Espers? You're letting Carbuncle. You're, like, not doing great. Okay. Not that surprising. You're learning the Unicorn. Those are absolutely slow. Protect and Shell. You probably should get off of Unicorn then. Because, this one's a little bit faster. Yeah, Carbuncle will do those faster. This mark would be a good one to pick up. As would... Perhaps only teaching me one, though. What? Raise? Which... he can get from... Alright, that's fair. Gao, not that I care that much, but... Okay, progress is coming along. So Gundara is a little bit faster through this one, so we'll swap you to Manduin now. And you're learning Phantom. Berserker Vanish times 3. That's the only way to learn those right now. And is technically the fastest. 5. Your process of it's the only way to learn them. Cool. I almost think having Setsuki designed more around being a mage might be more interesting. So giving him like magic boosts and stuff could be more fun. Because I think I'm gonna be like it's weird because on one hand I'm basically only ever gonna use slots on him. Like, it's either I only use slots or I only use attacks. I don't really use magic for him, right? But that's just not the case. So it's a matter of what spells are worth putting on him. Interesting. So that they don't... So they're not being wasted, right? And I think like supportive spells is fine. Maybe a little bit of healing magic too. But these are just like buff, debuff, and like spells like that I think are fine. I think the white magics really. He doesn't really need any of the black magics. Like Locke and Terra are kind of going to be mixed. Gao, I don't really care. I just have Gao learning some like basic stuff for the sake of learning it. Right? I think damage type coverage is always nice. Having access to healing spells on everybody is also really nice. Just as like a baseline, like Cure and Cura on everyone. Those are always helpful to have, but something with like Raise. But Phoenix Downs are easy to pick up, they're not that big of a deal. I'm back to 60 potions again. Alright, cool. Like, Edgar... Honestly, Edgar can kind of get away with anything. Sabin honestly doesn't really need spells so much as he just needs stats. If I'm being honest. Hey! I think I might put Setzer. Yeah, Setzer's done on Phantom. Zerk and Vanish are done. Carbuncle's currently being used. These wouldn't be bad though. Giving him like basic healing spells is fine. Let's want that or. He already knows Kate's safe. That's like slow though. Protecting the shell. I think are technically, yeah, they're faster here. Carbuncle's in use. Let's just go with Seraph. The fastest way to get healing spells right now. There's gonna be one that's gonna jump around a lot. Just because everyone should have healing. Or healing magic. Even if it's like not great, just because the stats aren't there, that's fine. All healing is useful. I'm just gonna reflect, she's on Carbuncle. Yeah, Carbuncle's going pretty fast. Nice thing about Carbuncle. It's done. Okay. Chocobo Stampede! Does so much damage. Oh my goodness. Another news. I played Neon White. Played it to completion. Very fun game. Very cool. Oh, that's not good. Oh, never mind. That's fine. Okay. I got concerned. Because I know one of the things Setzer does is it just insta-kills the entire party. Which is part of what makes the slot machine an absolute gamble. But Neon White's dope. It's super, super fun. The movement is so good. Hi, we're also invisible. And I'm a big fan of like the gameplay. The story was pretty good. Very neat. It was just all around a good experience. Good time. Okay. Nice, sir. Yeah. Very good game, very fun, highly recommend. It is like a speedrunny kind of game. But it's all about just like moving as fast as you can throughout the level. I have not started playing anything with like Metal Hellsinger yet. So I am excited to start it at some point. Because it seems like it'll be a lot of fun. Though I suck at Crypt the Necrodancer. And we'll see how I do with Crypt the Necrodancer, but also its Doom. Very fun games. And then after... So that's what I was talking about. Thankfully we're in a... We were very lucky there that, I should save. We got very lucky there that, let's say the thing. Alright. So this is a question I have. About this game. Does using an inn restore death? It does. Okay. It kind of flips around in Final Fantasies, at least a lot of the early ones. It kind of like flips. In some games it does, and some games it doesn't. So it's a good idea to have that thought. Alright. Actually, you know what? I think at this point I'm gonna go ahead and swap over to the other people. Oops. Wrong button. Yeah. Go ahead and swap the party up, and then, unfortunately that means no more stealing of items, so... stuck with what we have, that's fine. Thankfully there's exactly 8 people, so... Cyan, Edgar, Laban, Hog can now all be in the party. They go ahead and just immediately change up Espers like crazy. So Cyan already knows those. If Mog... Okay, Mog has like none learned. Mog should immediately start on Seraph. He already knows Cura and Regen, but it's like the fastest way to get Cura and Raise, and those are very much in his alley. Cyan. And sort of Modouine. Edgar, you're also kind of never really gonna use a lot of this stuff. Let's do Kieran. And Sabin, also basically never gonna use this stuff. But it's nice to have. You already know Fire, Blizzard, Thunder. You're still living Raised. I guess learn Fire, Blizzara, and... oh wait, yeah. Do you know Fire, Blizzard, Thunder? You know Fire and Thunder, but not Blizzard. Also teaches you Raids. Oh, there we go. Now to do it all over again, but like, more. Yeah, it's gonna be one of these days. You know, nothing happens. Oh, I'm not happy to use chainsaw right now. Oh, there we go. Oh man, another back attack. Damage kind of all over the place. Two AP for that. Nice. Yeah, I might actually end a bit on the earlier side today. Like, do the grinding and then, like, call it. Are you not equipped? Okay, that makes sense. Oh, neither are you. Yeah, okay. It's all making sense now. That was weapon. Physical power. Sure, Hermes Sandal. Rose ring. Not hyper wrist, why not? You W. Very good. Forgot about that. I forgot that some of these people aren't pretty quick. I don't know how I'm in it. Alright. Oh yeah, that's more so the damage I expected to see. Actually, I'm thinking about it too. Cyan should also be on his Bushido. Magna Rotors. Flurry's fine. There we go. Nice. Brian has one blizzard. Where is currently in use? What is wrap? Reduce MP, absorb MP. Like, sure, you can take Shiva, I guess. And we continue the grind. It's worth it though. Honestly, just like getting like doing it this way is like worth it. Because it'll let us like really focus in on it later. Or like not have to focus too much about it later. And we can really just focus on the stat increases, which are a little bit more important here. If I'm being honest. Unfortunately, some of these fights are just not rewarding AP, which is really unfortunate. We're surrounded! Nice. How about that someone better? And he's dead. And we got a 10. Nice. Oh yeah, I saw Marvel Dark something, I don't know what it's called, came out. I was interested in seeing about. Seems interesting, right? It's a, it's basically XCOM, but with like Marvel characters. Is kind of like the easy way to explain it. Like a turn-based strategy game, I guess. Came out with mixed reviews on Steam. Mostly seeming like it's just people being upset about the game selling cosmetics, which is weird, but sure. I'm not gonna argue too much on that. I don't see a reason to be like angry about it, like leaving like an actual like negative review for a game because it's selling you things that literally mean nothing. I don't know, it just seems like a waste of time and a waste of energy to complain about that. To me. Obviously to some people, they care a lot about their cosmetics being behind a paywall. I never really cared because it's not like it's like a gameplay thing at all. It's purely a this looks pretty thing. Like, if they locked, like, way more than that behind a wall, I'd be a little bit more understandable. But I mean, RPGs do it all the time, right? Day one cosmetic DLCs, where you can buy just like all kinds of different interesting and cool outfits for characters. It's never mattered. Man, do people like to complain about things that really don't mean anything? Crazy how much people will complain about nothing. But I digress. Other than that, though, the game looks relatively interesting. Don't know if or when I'll pick it up, but like, if it goes on like a sale or something, I'll definitely like that for sure. I'll think about it, but right now it's like, I don't know. Like, it seems interesting. It seems like it's fun, but you know, how much enjoyment am I gonna get out of it? I don't know. There's a lot of games out there that I would probably enjoy, but I don't like the sound of that. I'm gonna be honest. Mega Berserk. And I got nothing for it. I mean, I guess I got a green bouquet, but really? No money, no points? Yeah, you'd think I would at least get points for that. No AP, apparently. Like, it seems like it's almost random. Like, kind of annoying. Probably that wonders if Mog uses the dance, because the dance kind of like changes the environment. Would that then also grant me XP as well, or like, am I still considered in the Veldt at that point? I mean, probably, right? It does have a unique background, but not a unique dance. Listen here, you didn't need to do that. That was cruel and uncalled for. This is why I bought Phoenix Downs, though. Also, Wily Steel. More importantly, you probably have. You have Cure and. There we go. Everyone's full life again. Alright. We'll just keep going. We got a lot to learn still. Ugh. I don't know how many more times I'm gonna do this, like, on screen. I definitely want to do it at least once. Because one, this is like an easy way to come back and not be too worried about what I'm doing. But also, it gives me yes, a little bit of kind of just like talk, you know, mention some neat stuff about the game and whatnot. And also just get like give all the party members a little bit of time on screen to shine, because they don't really always get to be like super present, you know. Zara, faster to learn it through Shiva at this point. Let's go for it. Ugh. Why is the encounter rate so low? That's crazy. saving just do a normal attack and not a blazing fist or whatever it's called? That'll happen. Weird. The gobbledygook. Yeah. Oh yeah, because he died. And also apparently went to sleep. Nice instant kill, okay. Had a good one curing. Now going raise. That's the big one. You go. Without changing anything. Thing. Not the best. Yo, this guy kind of cheating. Like for real. He kind of cheat. He was way too hard to kill. All right. Ugh. Oh, hey, it's another chaser. Ugh. Three trappers. Rip Sabin. Dude. You can't just do that to him. Nice instant kill. That was terrible. You have now learned Sarah. Is good. I guess go for okay. Yeah. So Cyan has a well. Cyan's currently learning like one thing from it. Right? He's learning Raise. She can take over Sarah. HPs are fine. Well, it could be a little bit better, of course, but they're fine. Oh, yep, nope, I realized immediately what I just did. I'm just like misinputting everything right now. Oh my god. Have to be like super careful here going into this next fight. Make sure I do it all right. Ugh. Oh, it's the chickens. Bushido Flurry. Tools Chainsaw. Blitz. That one. Dance. Water Harmony because it's a healing one. Sometimes. El Nino! Okay, we still don't get any XP. They haven't got Blazara. Turning Shiva? Like, the whole Esper system is like, it's a really good idea, in my opinion, but it's also weird, within the context of this game, purely because, the characters in this game, I just don't care. Like, a couple of them obviously do. Like, I'm not gonna deny that, but some characters actually do care a bit. But, like, for the most part, they really don't care that much. Right? Like, Sabin doesn't really need magic at all. Edgar having magic is fine, right? Cyan doesn't need magic at all. He's like, Cyan's basically always using his Bushidos. Edgar, actually, yeah, Edgar's kind of always using the tools, right? Sabin's always using blitzes. Mog is usually doing a dance, right? It's like Terra cares about magic because she's actually a mage. Sarah's kind of cares about magic because she's like got the ability to do some useful magic stuff. That's kind of it. No one else really cares. Like, it's there, it's useful. But really, you're not doing it for the spells. You're doing it for the stats. But again, having like curse spells on everyone and raise on everyone is very helpful. Even just like damage type spells, right? Everyone having just like the main trio of Fire, Thunder, Blizzard is useful. If for no reason other than it's just like tech coverage stuff. Some enemies are like weak to specific damages and things like that, right? So, like, it's nice having it. Like, I'm not gonna deny that it's useful. It's very useful. It's just, it feels weird. It's like, you don't want to use magic that often on, like, half the cast. I don't even have most of the cast. But only, like, 3 characters. You're like, eh, yeah, sure. It's just a little, like, weird and silly. In my opinion. But, you know. I still think it's a good system. I think it's a good way to do learning spells for JRPG. Right? Like, it's like kind of a unique thing. It's not something you like see often. But it could be better. Onion Knights. They're so silly looking. Hey. A lot of damage. Nice and secure. Diane and Kira. Diane's gotta be getting close to done on Sarah. You know? Yeah. On we go. Continuing to grind. But other than that, so plan, I'd like put it up and get sidetracked from trending. So the current plan is we finish Final Fantasy VI, which honestly is just depending on how things go, it might carry over into next year a little bit. I don't know what Christmas week is looking like, but that week is going to be, if nothing else, all over the place for me, as far as schedule is concerned. I'm probably just going to be here tomorrow. I'll probably ignore Game Awards. I don't care too much. Oh, Christmas is on a Sunday this year. Nice. Actually, never mind. I'll probably be completely fine. So it shouldn't be too jacked up then. And I know, like, Mondays, literally, like, this upcoming Monday is my, like, final day. The semester. So I'll have all my stuff done by then. And all my classes to be like done by then. If not done on that day. That'll be fun. Not to mention, I believe we're doing a session. I would not be shocked if there's no session the week after, though. Or even like doing something like the day after Christmas. I would not be surprised if we're not doing a session because it's the day after Christmas. El Niño. But yeah. Then after we beat this game, Tunic. Very excited to play Tunic. Those that don't know what Tunic is, it's basically just a massive love letter to The Legend of Zelda. I'm very excited for it. The Zelda games are really fun. And then after that, I don't know what I'm doing, but I do have some things that I want to do or I'm considering doing, but I also don't know if I want them to be a thing I do on stream, or if I do it kind of just like on my own, potentially recording, like trying to like do something with that. Right, Legacy the Duelist, Link Evolution is one that like I kind of want to like play through that game. Hey, Experience Warrior. And I also kind of want to play Persona 5 Royal again. Right, now that it's like technically out. On all platforms, so there's a little bit more hype around it again. I love the game in general. El Niño! And I've kind of wanted to play it on, like, merciless difficulty for the fun of it. But I'm a big fan of, you know, like, trying out, like, hardest difficulties and, like, overcoming the challenge. So I think that could be a really fun thing to do. Especially now that I'm not playing it for the first time and feel way more comfortable just like sitting down and like just looking stuff up as I need to make sure I'm like being somewhat optimal about things. Because obviously with like a merciless run, you kind of have to like plan things out a little bit because you need to be ready to go. I'm planning out like personas and making sure I get the right ones, setting them up, setting up like really good ones, powerful ones, and making sure I'm doing good fusion, kind of grinding a bit through mementos. And of course, not to mention making sure I'm getting my confidant ranks as necessary, doing some of the things I didn't do like going to the jazz club. Never did that, and I've learned what that does, and it's very useful. And plenty of other things too, right? But you know, there's only so much I can do. But I believe you can get like technically everything done if you like map it out correctly. I don't know if I want to do that though, because I'm sure there's like a proper guide of like, here's what you need to do every day in order to do everything. I don't know if I want to do that. Like part of me is like, you know, like I want to research it to make sure I'm doing stuff that I should be doing when I should be doing it, that I'm keeping up with the days and keeping up with like having like powerful personas and stuff like that, and kind of keeping up with everything that I need. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to like follow like too much of a guide. Because like I know generally what to do. I mean, like I'll obviously have like guides and stuff pulled up to make sure I'm giving proper responses to the confidants and stuff. But and like obviously some of the confidants are better than others. Some are very important, others not so much. I would like to try to max the entire party, though. If I were to do that. Try to get everyone that is, like, a part of, like, the party ready to go. And I think that would be, like, a fun thing to try to do. Terra's got Carbo. Which is fine, because Terra is not here. Okay. But yeah, that's like kind of my plan. I don't know if I'm like, I don't know if I want to like clean that, because it's gonna be a lot of just like stopping to like look at things and research and do some like checking and make sure that what I'm doing is what I want to be doing and right and that stuff. And that could be like a little boring. I say while grinding out Final Fantasy VI. Alright. No one is currently on Seraph. So you could take it. As I said, I don't know if I want to grind out like every single Esper on every single character. That's definitely a thing you could do. This is the place to do it. Ben? I mean, once you're level 99, you don't care as much. Because you can just kind of do it wherever and not have any negative impacts. Because you're max level, or whatever max level is. I assume it's any. Right, but... You know, still, same thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love Persona 5 Royal, it's so good. I do want to play it again. Kind of that time. Or like, playing it again just like seems like the thing to do. Yeah, it says water calls upon the power of the sea to heal allies and create them beside itself. And not once has it ever done that. Sure. Power Darkness. Instant kill. Love to see. Raging Fist. Love to see. Twilight Requiem. Failed. Love to see it. Flurry. But also, like, there's like plenty of like confidants and stuff that like I didn't really do very much of, but I now understand have like some actually very useful ranks, and it'd be like a fun way to kind of go back and do some. Wow, also unfortunate. But you know, there's like also other games to play too. Right? Kind of like the Eternal Storm here. It's like I want to find a balance between playing new games and playing old games, like replaying games together. That I like really enjoy and like want to like do something new with. Like I've also been toying with, obviously Elden Ring's getting a new update, or I think it technically got an update today. People are thinking there might be some DLC announcements for Elden Ring tomorrow at the Game Awards. I'm thinking about doing some kind of Elden Ring thing as well. Some kind of like Elden Ring challenge, which could be fun. And Elden Ring is a good game to do like ranged stuff in, right? Like bows and crossbows, because you can craft the ammo. But otherwise, like, I don't really know what else I would be doing in Elden Ring. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of other games too that I could play that are just like on the list. Have been on the list, right? Just a matter of what I'm feeling. But we'll see. We've got like a couple weeks more of this, so. Poisonous fog. Or like poisonous frog. I'm not sorry. Ugh. But yeah, that's kind of where I am with it right now. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I'm hoping it's like I don't really know what I'm doing after Tunic. But it's just pretty fun regardless. Cause like I kind of just want to like play P5R like now, but I don't want to like push Tunic back because that game's gonna be forever. If I do stream it, if I don't stream it, then it doesn't matter. Like I don't know if it'll process recording it. I don't have to, but it'd be fun. Potentially turn it into some kind of like I played P5R on Merciless. Here's how it went, kind of thing. Which I also have not done any work on the Pokemon Emerald bug only thing yet. Which I probably should do. Gee. I got regen. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know where to begin. I've never done that kind of stuff before. Hard to figure out how to start. Plus I've just been like, kind of all over the place with stuff. That's kind of hopefully starting to calm down. Despite how hectic the holiday season usually is. It's actually usually a lot calmer for me. Right? Less things to have to do and worry about. Oh, plan. Yeah, I don't know. That's where I am mentally. With like what's going on here. But I've also been wanting to get back to fighting games for a very long time. But it's been hard. Like, I have motivation to play fighting games, but I also don't have motivation to play fighting games. As weird as that is. Yeah, sure, Kate Sith. It's like, I want to play fighting games, because I love fighting games, and I'm very patiently awaiting Project L. And I know I'm going to love Project L when it comes out, but I'm just like not super motivated to like sit down and like really like learn a fighting game right now. Or like practice a lot in fighting or anything like that. Like, it's just kind of like in that mood for me. Not that I dislike them. Like, I love them. They're great. Still, like, my favorite genre of games, honestly. There's just, like, not a lot that I'm, like... It's like, yeah, I could play, like, Melty. I could play... BB Tag. BB Tag is always fun. but like, oh geez, wow. They're just like, none of it sounds like that interesting. It's like I'm either like learning new characters, or I have to just like spend some time relearning the game. MK11 also sounded like kind of interesting, but I'm also not the biggest fan of MK11. Like, I'm sure it's due to the fact that I was a cross player for pretty much the entire time I played that game. And playing Frost was just not fun. Which sucks because I actually like I enjoyed Frost and like her kit, but like again, you know, like you fight like Liu Kang, realize just how bad of a character Frost really is. It's rough. Like it's real bad. And she's just like always struggled, to my knowledge, since a kid. Obviously not as bad as like Shao Kahn did, but Shao Kahn's now actually like decent. Meanwhile, Frost, to my knowledge, is still pretty garbage. But you know, it is what it is. It's just there's plenty. Like I could complain about it all day, but there's also like a bunch of other characters that like I was interested in and just like didn't put any time into. I mean, I played a lot of Scorpion as well. I played a little bit of Sub-Zero. I wanted to like pick up Joker, but just couldn't figure that out. Like I was already kind of getting frustrated and bored with the game when he kind of released, so I was like, I don't really care. It's like that's like how far ago it was when I was like already getting kind of just like done with it, fortunately. Spawn also seems like kind of cool. I don't know if I care enough to like pick up Spawn, but it seems cool. Like, funnily enough, actually, Shao Kahn looks like it'd be like a lot of fun, and I kind of want to like play Shao Kahn. Totally didn't recently watch that. What's it, Candy? KM, I think it was like the ketchup and mustard video. I don't remember which one of them does it, but the like history of like competitive history of MK characters. I totally didn't watch the Shao Kahn one, like just came out, and see the some of the MK11 stuff and hear about it and be like, you know what, this looks like fun, but I don't know. Which apparently NRS has like nothing to show tomorrow, according to Ed Boon, which is weird. Right, because we're like way outside of the normal cycle for NRS. Tekken 8's gonna be there in some capacity. Hirata's already been memeing up on it, so something's happening. I would not be shocked if we saw some Street Fighter 6 either. Just like some kind of like new character reveal or something. I could sit here and make predictions all day, but I actually have no idea what's coming. Like, it's totally possible we see like Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 or something. Because I mean, like, we know it's coming. I don't remember if it's ever been like, I don't remember if it's been confirmed. But like we know what's happening. Like we're never getting a DBFZ 2.0 of some kind. Whether it's just like a big update or an actual new release, like it's happening at some point. Like Dragon Ball FighterZ is too successful to not get another one. Like that game like inserted itself into the FGC as a staple. But I digress. I think we're gonna be done here in a little bit, a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna end it. Just like I'm so exhausted today. I don't know why. I kind of just want to like not have to worry about being too crazy with it. But tomorrow, we'll definitely do some, like, actual plot stuff. I'll kind of pick a party before I'm done here, and then we can, actually do stuff. I'm thinking... I mean, Terra Lock is happening for sure. And then I'm kind of thinking either Sabin or Edgar. And bringing Setzer. Because I like Setzer. Do I need to bring Setzer? No. That actually seems like probably a good time to follow them. They've just finished off that one. We'll hop in here. We can figure out the party. We can set the Espers, the stat-specific stuff. I'll call it. I'll do a quick save as well. I'll kind of move over to where we need to be, but I'll save it. Change party members? Yes. Terra, Lock for sure. I want to bring Setzer just cause, and then I'm thinking, I mean, really just wanted to use 3. Kind of leaning more towards Sabin, Cyan. Just because they're cool. Let's bring Sabin. Well, Sabin's already gotten a lot of love. Maybe we just bring Carbon, or not Carbon, sorry, maybe we just bring Cyan instead then. We've had Sabin for a while. Plus, Sabin's currently the highest level. So maybe it's worth it to put a little bit of things around here. So for you, Miss Terra, I think I'm gonna start you off on a magic +1. And you can learn some new skills while you're at it. Lock. I don't particularly need a lot of these. Strength +1 is fine. HP is less useful. It's the easy one here is you. You're taking Bismarck because you're getting the +2 strength. Setzer, you're taking another magic +1. That works out too. You learn new stuff while you're at it. So I'll just use the block. The stamina +1 is super helpful. More mana is not that good either. Maybe he just takes a strength +1 for now. Yeah. Well, let's give him the strength +1 immediately. I want to take a look at his stats. I know they're going to be like a little skewed. 600 HP. Maybe we could get away with it. With some HP boosting, but I don't know. Why does it need to be like super tanky though, I guess? I mean, I guess he needs to be able to survive. Or you'd be like, how important is some of this stuff? I mean, strength +1 is just like useful. I mean, he literally either gets strength or he gets HP or mana. I don't think the mana is as helpful for him. Like, Terra, I could give the excuse for, and Saris, I can... not Locke. Yeah, I think Locke just takes that. Fortunately, you're done with it. So. Alright. We have, like, basically 2 mages and 2 melees. I'll just use a 10th. I'm not concerned. So we need to head over here. Actually, where are we heading? No, we're heading down here. Sorry. We're heading back to this, like, camp. I'll just park the airship outside. But I need to be back and I need to be dapper. Let's look at that's 10. I have 23 of them, and I've got a bunch of potions. I think we'll be okay. Oh, that's a neat one. we're ready to go in. Oh, I am not ready to go in today. People do it tomorrow. I believe. Oh, actually, no, we need to go somewhere else. Ah, no, never mind. Yeah, no, this is right, this is right. Yeah, field observation outpost, and then we need to go to the sealed gate cave. We're basically gonna be going through like a dungeon and doing some like saves and stuff. Really doing like some actual like again more plot. And then we get to go do the Esper cave after that. And get a bunch more Espers. And then we can sit here and grind more Espers out. Kidding. To some degree. So yeah. For that, check out others VODs, exclamation VODs. Thank you to everyone who's been checking those out. I appreciate it a lot. Otherwise, that's all I have. So until next